We send you very best wishes from Plymouth University in the southwest of England. What follows is film footage of people who describe themselves as service users and carers, talking about their involvement with social work education at Plymouth University, what they appreciate, what's important to them about it, what they've gained from it. With the exception of 2 people who are students, all the people talking on the film are service users and carers. And we encourage you to involve people with whom social workers work. It's the best thing that's happened to social work education in England, and particularly at Plymouth University. It's enriched the programme enormously, as the students testify, and we wish you well with your own arrangements and endeavours to involve service users and carers in social work education.
I didn't have a perception coming into this course that I'd be interacting with service users at all. It didn't even cross my mind that you'd be involved, but it has been very valuable. And to be sitting on my interview panel facing service users was quite intimidating, but it was also valuable because they said, well, we're looking to see what we're going to get out of the service at the end.
I do think it's important for the students to have an understanding of what it's like to be a service user, a carer, to have a perspective of being in other people's shoes, to be on the receiving end of services, good, bad and non-existent, and realise that they're but for fortune, it could be them, a relative, and still in the future it may be them that are in exactly the same circumstances. So there's actually no difference between a service user, carer and a student or a social worker. We're all people just having different experiences.
One of the reasons why not only I'm taking part in the service users, I'm getting involved with other activities as well to try and influence students to help them pass their career to become good social workers to help others.
I think for me it's more them being more understanding of the situation that the kids are in and trying to go the extra mile sometimes when it's needed.
We just want better social workers at the end of the day when they leave university. Don't forget what we've told them.
I'm hoping that they'll take on board and use the information we've given to improve upon how social services work as it is.
And sat just in a lecture without speaking to service users and putting theory to practice and being able to make those mistakes in a supportive environment, I think you'd go into your practice and not be a rounded practitioner.
When you've gone in and done something specific, and that little window of what you lived through helps to make sense of the theory that's going on the wall in the PowerPoint or in the lecture. Now, I love doing those sessions.
So do I.
Yeah, I do. Because you can judge how much you want to reveal about yourself. You don't have to do the whole story. That's not what it's about. It's about that little vignette of experience that the student will remember.
The students always feed back that they really enjoy our participations, and they learn a lot from it and they ask for more of it. They appreciate it, don't they?
I think that the service user involvement at the university is really key and really important for the learning of students. I think that the service user group should always be involved in social work. Because it's really key.
It was the beginning of 2003, before the BSc started, because we were in helping to plough, work we did with students, which back then wasn't anything like the involvement is today.
We've pushed over the years that we've been doing this, because we're in a small area to begin with, and we've pushed, can we not come in on that one, and can we not come in on this, and can we come in, and so it's gradually grown that we're in as many places that we can be, and always trying to because this course is never a set in stone, it's changing constantly to try to improve. So whenever a new idea comes on, yes, where are we in this? What are we doing?
We've now do a whole host of things. There isn't much that we're not involved in at all.
The other thing about having a specific service user and carer group is that you can come in or you can go away for a bit and you can come back. It's very, very flexible. And of course we're always looking for new faces. That's key to it as well, because otherwise people get sick. Well, I do that. No, everybody has a go at everything.
You've seen the main group that we have and how that's very formal and has an agenda and a chairperson. And initially we saw a lot of young people come, but they didn't come back. It wasn't the format that young people fit comfortably with. So our idea was to create a group of young people that was very different, very relaxed, and we would just see how it went. We've had at least 18 people on our list of people who showed interest. Since then people have come and gone. But in this last year we've increased our involvement
with the university,
And we're accessible not just through the meetings that we have on a regular monthly basis, but we're also available through the website. And any particular skill. And we've also got a skills audit, haven't we?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
That you can access any particular thing that you feel that we can help you with, a particular area of learning that you need to concentrate on.
As Hilary said, we can reveal as much or as little as we choose to about ourselves, and that's down to us. We're always there with an academic. And I used to look at the academics as, I'm sorry about it's kind of up there somewhere, but now I consider myself to be working with them when I'm in a group session.
With a group of students, the task was to look at collaboration, and we had to work as a group and a team, do some team skills, and also as a supervisor in that group I had to evaluate the progress and say how they did in groups. And as the time went on, I was accepted into the group as a team member, which is what we're supposed to do, and there was no sort of barriers as you and them. And we had to do a presentation towards the end, and 3 of us within the team, myself and 2 of the students, both had sort of experiences out in the real world, as it were, with our son. We were sharing these experiences ready for the presentation, and it wasn't just me showing my service user experiences. The students were sharing theirs as well, showing that we was all in the same boat, as it were.
I've had lots of social workers in my life, but it's that there has to be professional boundaries and there has to be personal boundaries, but to be treated as an equal and to be treated with warmth and care without crossing those boundaries, and I think we kind of achieve that.
It actually helps me as well, not only the foster or the social work students, it helps me because it helps me get things off my chest. Just, I have had a few problems with social services, and having spoken to them about it, I know that may change in the future. It just makes me feel better.
It's this 2-way or even 3-way flow with the practice learning team, with the students if they're doing a project, and individuals of the group or groups of the group. It's amazing how it all meshes together and everybody wins.
And what I learned from that experience was students weren't that different to me, to be quite honest. There were experiences that we've all shared, and I think that I also brought them into working with my medical teams and alongside my medical teams, because I felt I could reciprocate the trust that the university had given me actually in working with one of their students. So I kind of trusted that, and what I found was that the student actually kind of did a lot of advocacy on my behalf around disability, and I benefited greatly from that.
Well, it's keeping me well. Personally, it's really good for me because when I started, I had very little confidence.
The course is strong because of the input that you have. I mean, that's you've taught us so much, actually.
Yeah.
So.
See, I'm just the same. I'm not a giving up type person. Once I start something, I don't want to finish until I don't want to stop until the actual event and I've succeeded. And like I said, I've been through a rough time in the past with social services and foster carers, and I've been abused in some of them. So I am getting involved with the social services, social work, to try and, like I said, to help people.
I think what's really good though is when you do the social work care experience and the community development practice, you're really working closely with a student or a group of students, and they can really see what your life's like and what a service user's life's like, and
how much within 3 sessions I can see a difference already. The thinking, the way she thinks is already expanding. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm getting satisfaction that the students are doing well, and we are producing good social workers.
I think it is important for the social worker to be there for the child, not just there because it's their job. They've got to be passionate about it, passionate about helping the children. Otherwise they're just going to do a half-assed job of everything.
As a student sat on the first day being introduced to the service user consultative group, I felt quite intimidated, thinking, oh, how am I going to be, behave and measure up, and how am I going to do this appropriately? And I met with some of the service users, and they were absolutely, brilliant. But that was the other thing.
Human and normal.
Yes.
Just approach the foster parents and stuff, and don't be frightened to be rejected. Speak to the people like social workers to set up groups like this, because if you don't, nothing will change.